Most men will become dangerous, not because they are incapable, because they are comfortable. And comfort is killing them. Right now, somewhere in the world, a man is waking up before sunrise, training while everyone sleeps, building while others complain, suffering in silence while weak men search for entertainment. And one day, that man will own everything weak men wish they had: respect, power, freedom, control. Because life does not reward softness, it rewards endurance. The truth nobody wants to hear is this: weak men never succeed. Not because the world is unfair, not because opportunities don't exist, not because success is reserved for the lucky. Weak men fail because weakness changes the way a man thinks, the way he acts, the way he speaks, the way he survives. Weakness destroys a man long before life does. And modern society is manufacturing weak men every single day. Boys raised without discipline, men addicted to comfort, minds poisoned by distraction, souls destroyed by endless dopamine. Scroll, swipe, consume, repeat. An entire generation of men trapped in invisible cages, thinking they are free. You can see it in their eyes. No fire, no hunger, no purpose. Just anxiety, excuses, and empty motivation that disappears the second life becomes difficult. They want the body, but not the pain. They want the money, but not the sacrifice. They want respect without becoming respectable. And then they wonder why nobody takes them seriously. The world can smell weakness. It shows in the way a man walks, in the way he avoids eye contact, in the way he quits too early, in the way he needs constant validation from strangers online. Weak men need applause for everything. Strong men move in silence. That's the difference. A weak man negotiates with pain. A strong man expects it. A weak man waits until he feels ready. A strong man moves while afraid. A weak man looks for motivation. A strong man builds discipline. And discipline is where transformation begins. Because motivation is temporary. Everybody feels motivated after watching a video. Everybody feels unstoppable at 2 a.m. Everybody says they're going to change. But morning comes, the alarm rings, and the weak man presses snooze again and again and again. That small moment decides entire futures. Because success is never built in grand, dramatic moments. It's built in the decisions nobody sees, the gym session when you're exhausted, the work you do when nobody claps, the promises you keep to yourself, especially the promises you keep to yourself. That's where self-respect is born, and most men have none, because deep down, they know they cannot trust themselves. They say they'll change, they don't. They say they'll work harder, they don't. They say this year will be different, it isn't. So eventually they stop believing in themselves completely. That's the hidden cost of weakness. It destroys your identity. You become a man who talks instead of acts, dreams instead of builds, consumes instead of creates. And the scary part? Modern life makes weakness feel normal. Nobody tells you to become stronger anymore. They tell you to stay comfortable, stay distracted, stay entertained. They tell men masculinity is dangerous, aggression is toxic, discipline is extreme. But look around. Weak men are depressed. Weak men are lost. Weak men are angry at the world because they never conquered themselves. A man without discipline becomes a slave. Slave to emotions, slave to lust, slave to laziness, slave to fear, slave to opinions. Every addiction grows stronger where discipline is absent, and social media made it worse. Men now compare their lives every second. They watch other people win instead of building their own lives. They confuse consuming inspiration with taking action. Watching success is not success. Posting quotes is not discipline. Talking about goals is not achievement. And deep down, they know it. That's why so many men feel empty, because their mind knows the truth their ego is trying to hide. They are wasting their lives. Imagine being born with unlimited potential, only to spend your existence scrolling through other people's accomplishments. That is tragedy. Not failure, wasted potential. There is nothing more painful than becoming old and realizing you betrayed the person you could have become. One day, life will corner you. Your parents will age, bills will grow, people will leave, your body will weaken, responsibility will arrive like a storm. And in that moment, life will expose exactly who you are. Not who you pretend to be online, not who you say you are, who you truly are. Pressure reveals men. Weak men break. Strong men adapt. That is why suffering matters. Pain introduces a man to himself. The gym teaches suffering. Business teaches suffering. Rejection teaches suffering. Loneliness teaches suffering. Everything meaningful requires pain. But weak men run from pain their entire lives, and ironically, that creates even more pain. Temporary comfort, permanent regret. That's the trade weak men make every day. They avoid hard conversations, avoid discipline, avoid risk, avoid rejection, avoid responsibility, until eventually they avoid life itself. They exist, but they do not live. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you're tired, distracted, lost. Maybe you've spent years escaping your own potential. Maybe you laugh loudly around people, but feel empty when you're alone. Maybe you've become addicted to comfort because pain scares you. Maybe you keep waiting for some magical moment where everything changes. Listen carefully. Nobody is coming. Nobody is going to save you. Not your friends, not society, not motivation videos, not luck. You must save yourself. And that begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. The moment you look in the mirror and say, "I am the reason my life looks like this." That sentence is painful, but it is also powerful. Because if you are responsible for your downfall, you are also responsible for your transformation. Most men never experience real growth because they protect their ego too much. They blame childhood, blame society, blame women, blame the economy, blame everyone except themselves. But accountability is where power begins. The strongest men in history were not handed easy lives. They were forged by hardship. Pain sharpened them. Failure educated them. Suffering built them. Because hard times create dangerous men, and dangerous men change the world. Not dangerous through violence, dangerous through discipline, through focus, through emotional control, through relentless action. A dangerous man can suffer without collapsing, work without applause, lead without validation. That kind of man becomes unstoppable, and every man has the ability to become that. But first, he must kill the weak version of himself, the lazy version, the distracted version, the addicted version, the excuse-making version. That version must die, because two men cannot exist inside one body forever. One seeks comfort, the other seeks greatness. One wants entertainment, the other wants purpose. One avoids struggle, the other becomes stronger because of it. Every day, one of them wins, and your habits decide which one survives. Look at your routine carefully. Your routine is exposing your future. Weak habits create weak men. Late nights, no discipline, no training, no reading, no purpose. Constant distraction, constant excuses. Then men wonder why they feel mentally weak. Strength is not built by accident. Mental toughness is trained. Every time you do something difficult, you become harder to break. Every time you keep your word, your confidence grows. Every time you resist distraction, your mind becomes sharper. This is why discipline changes everything. Discipline teaches a man that feelings do not control him. Imagine the power of becoming a man who acts regardless of emotion. Tired? Still work. Heartbroken? Still move forward. Unmotivated? Still train. Afraid? Still execute. That is power. Most people are controlled by emotions they never learn to master. One bad day destroys their consistency. One rejection destroys their confidence. One failure destroys their ambition. But life becomes different when you stop expecting it to be easy. because easy was never the goal. Growth was. The strongest men are not the happiest all the time. They are not fearless. They are not emotionless. They simply refuse to surrender. That's it. And eventually, life respects that man. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. Strength develops. People notice. Not because he got lucky, because he became someone capable of carrying responsibility. Success is heavy. Weak men cannot carry heavy things. That's why they drop opportunities, drop commitments, drop standards, drop dreams. Everything becomes too much for them. But strong men expand their capacity through struggle. That's why they rise. You cannot become powerful while living like everyone else. Average habits create average lives. And average today is dangerous. Average today means distracted, weak, dependent, emotionally unstable. Do not normalize weakness simply because it became common. A lion does not ask sheep for advice. You were not born to spend your life numbing yourself with cheap pleasure. You were born for war. War against your lower nature. War against your excuses. War against the weak voice inside your head begging you to quit. And that voice will never disappear completely. Even strong men hear it. The difference is they do not obey it. That is what masculinity truly is. Not arrogance, not pretending to be emotionless, not domination. True masculinity is responsibility, doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That is the man people trust, the man families depend on, the man the world respects. Because reliable men are rare now. Loyal men are rare. Disciplined men are rare. Focused men are rare. Most men are mentally soft, and softness has consequences. Weak men lose opportunities because they hesitate, lose relationships because they lack leadership, lose years because they lack urgency. Time does not care about your excuses. Every day you waste, your future pays for it. One day you will either thank yourself or hate yourself. That future is being built right now, in silence, in your habits, in your choices, in the things you repeatedly tolerate. You cannot build a powerful life with weak standards. Raise them. Demand more from yourself. Stop waiting to feel confident. Confidence comes after action. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions do not exist. Stop waiting for permission. Nobody is coming to hand you the life you want. Take it. Take control of your mind. Take control of your habits. Take control of your future. Because if you don't, something else will. Addiction will. Comfort will. Distraction will. Fear will. And they will rob you slowly, not in one dramatic moment, but day by day, until suddenly you wake up older, weaker, and full of regret. That is the true nightmare, not failure, regret. The regret of knowing you could have become extraordinary, but chose comfort instead. So decide, right now, who are you going to become? The weak man who keeps making excuses, or the man who transforms pain into power? Because life is watching. Every decision matters. Every habit matters. Every excuse matters. You are either building strength or building weakness. There is no neutral. And understand this clearly. Nobody remembers weak men. The world remembers builders, warriors, leaders, men who endured suffering without surrendering, men who refused to stay broken. So when life tests you, do not pray for an easier path. Pray for stronger shoulders. When pain arrives, use it. When failure humiliates you, learn from it. When fear whispers quit, move forward anyway. Because on the other side of discipline is a version of yourself you have never met before. A dangerous version, focused, calm, powerful, unbreakable. And once that man wakes up inside you, everything changes.